There is Sean Chipperfield, one of the men of the moment in Ultimate Pool circles. Recent Pro Series champion, his maiden title, and he was not breaking like that weekend, I can assure you. Pretty tough one, this for Sean, who historically has always been a bit hit and miss with the break, but that is about as well as he can possibly hit it, and have a bang on that for a little bit of bad luck, yeah. Instant grimace and a wince from Chippy, and it brings Team John Lewis to the table.
Chippy's break is often the story, isn't it? But not when he hits it like that. Normally it's the centre pockets in play, and we're always talking about if he can keep the cue ball under control, then he's seriously dangerous, which is what he did when he won the Pro Series title a few weeks ago. That was as tough as we'll see tonight, I think. It was a fabulous break.
Oh, we've got Team Blessed in the house, mate. That's not going to be remotely the worst bit of luck you'll see tonight. That's merely an amuse-bouche for some of the nonsense those lads will get up to a little bit later. We'll hear from them before our second match of the night. They take on the brothers Davies.
Slightly surprised about the decision there from Lewis and John. I thought they'd try and get themselves a little bit straighter than on that last one and pull back. There is Team Blessed.
There they are.
For the one on the left-hand side, and they've decided to leave it. I guess does that mean they're going to get on the double? There was a perfect position to get onto it 2 shots ago in terms of, they played for the double here, so that was the plan. It looks a little short at first glance. They probably wanted to get level with the red, just to make it easier to get the cue ball down the table.
See there, both players partners in the background, Amanda and Trish.
Extension called.
Right, seeing both having made the trip up to support both of these two so well supported back home, and John has decided didn't fancy the look of that double, opts to try and tuck up, and I'm not sure he's played the greatest shot ever there. The option was there, wasn't necessarily a terrible choice of shot, but I do fear for the execution from the ringer. Has he given Carl and Chippy a chance in this opening frame? Scotch doubles, remember, to kick us off tonight in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. We'll then have 2 frames of singles, followed by another Scotch frame. Just means alternate shots. 2 more singles, and if required, the 7th and deciding frame will also be played under Scotch doubles conditions. As you can gather then, it's a race to 4, best of 7. But if the clock strikes midnight, all the way down to 0 in this 20-minute match, we will take whatever score is on the board at that stage. We saw some dramatic finishes last week, of course, where the clock was heavily involved.
This red does go. This is the red I thought they should have played on earlier on in their visit first time round. Obviously high tariff from where Lewis was, but what else is he going to do from there other than try and take it on? And these yellows aren't exactly sitting nicely, even now they have a comfortable pot. They've got problems.
Yeah, Lewis, a former professional snooker player. Very, very handy cueist is Lewis Roberts, but it's not even the thing that he's best at, bizarrely. He might be a great cueist, but he's even better cue maker. Cue maker to the stars.
Yeah, some of the best cueists in the world are using his cues.
Including one of his own, who had a birthday last week and was given her very own Stanford cue to celebrate the occasion. Maybe one day she'll realise how much that's worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great pot from Chippy. Utilised the yellow.
Yeah,
over at the top.
And I think they've got the angle here to drop behind the other bad ball. So what was an awkward layout, 1 shot in isn't too bad. Obviously the 2 yellows together are still awkward, but they're by far and away nowhere near as big a problem as the 2 they've already solved. They can get short position on it, or they can play a little nudge depending on the angle they get here.
Yeah, where Sean's just left his cue is where they could leave the cue ball for the yellow to the right centre as we look.
If they do get on that yellow and they can play the nudge, they're guaranteed to be on the one top left. They've gone the other way. I thought they might come up for it into the centre, but he's gone top left to play into it. Problem here is if he can't get behind them to play short position now, then he might be leaving it last, or I think it's more likely he's going to have to play the little nudge now instead. See, the angle's good. It just might stick behind the yellow playing it this way. Played it well.
Yeah, and important that they played it off that ball, because you can see the only ball they're on is the spare one, essentially.
My worry for them is they got the other side of the yellow on the cannon there. The cue ball finishes to the right-hand side of those two yellows, and it may not be on anything, but executed perfectly. And prime position here to mop up what was a very difficult layout. It really is incredible what they've done in the Pairs Cup through the first 3 years. Right up there with anything we've seen with Ultimate Pool. The fact that this is such a volatile,
100%.
it's actually mind-boggling what they've done. See, I briefly spoke to Sean as we walked in. Said, I can't believe you're going for 4 straight. He said, the thing that stuck in his mind was that he's lost the last 2, they've lost the last 2, not the fact they made 3 straight.
I mentioned that's probably on the minds.
Yeah.
They don't see it as 3 straight finals. They see it as, well, we've won 1 and lost 2.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is a large part of the reason why they're out there and I'm in here. But job done on the 8 ball from Carl Sutton, and 1-0 to the Beasts from the East. And you know, the level we saw Carl perform at the World Championships in Blackpool was as good as anybody we've ever seen. He was just unlucky, and that happens.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that Ronan McCarthy was lucky. Obviously, Ronan won the World Championships and he won it in unbelievable style, but nobody has ever played the level that Carl Sutton played at to not win the final. That was the best. I mean, you go through and watch all the finals if you want. No one has ever played that level. He did not make a mistake in the final and didn't win it. It was so unlucky from his perspective, but that was a lot of that was down to the greatness of Ronan. But it just shows you the level he can play at.
Brilliant player, and brilliant eye for the game as well. He's never one to push the boats out if he doesn't need to, Carl Sutton. He'll always have a little bit of a moan that we're not still playing world rules, in which he could really, really control the table and pick locks and produce combinations out there that no one could see. But that same brain translates really well into international rules as well, which are widely accepted to be much more attacking.
I agree with you. I think
You see an interesting quirk of them right there. That's going to be just a loss of turn shot for John in open table.
Carl's one of the players. He understands the reason why, but if it was down to his choice and his choice alone, he wouldn't have them, because he knows he holds more of an advantage. But I actually think that's probably the case for a couple of our players, and I think the same could be said for Tom Cooney, who we'll see a little bit later on as well.
Maybe even John Rowe.
Maybe even John Rowe, of course. That was the rule set when he won the world title, and Sean Chipperfield. I think Carl's an interesting one. He's got a tough layout here with the yellow on the right-hand side, but I had a really good interview with him a few months ago on one of our weekend events. And you know, watching commentating, we know he's one of the best players in the world, and I think he deep down knows it as well, but he often downplays it. He likes to take pressure off himself by kind of talking in terms of like, oh, well, you know, downplaying any chance he has of winning a tournament or winning a match, but he knows deep down, you know, that confidence is there, and you're starting to see that belief week in, week out in the tournaments now.
It's a great job from Carl to open things up. He's got options now.
If he can slide past the yellow and going top right, then he'd play it now, but he might be getting the cannon, and if he gets the cannon wrong, it could go a little bit messy, which is why he's coming down the table to go back up. So much more room to play with, because he could have been on the left-hand one or the right-hand one there.
Yeah, just a fraction of left-hand side, just to manipulate the angle, and presto, perfect position. Perfect start so far, really, from Sean and Carl. Long way back for Lewis and John. 6.5 minutes to go. That clock will continue to tick until 5 minutes. Referee Orange Terskow is a pretty quick racker of the balls. John Rowe does have a massive, massive break. And believe it or not, he didn't actually hit that particularly well by his standards.
Yeah, he has a monster. He's right up there. And you can see they're losing the cue ball to the left-hand side as we look. He didn't quite get the front ball square. He's still got a powerful break. This is a great layout for them. This is time to go and get there quickly. A little awkward here. Could have done with being on the one there nearest the right-hand side, because they couldn't avoid getting the cannon there once they put that one. And they could have made that as an easy plant if they could have got low on it. So that first shot went just slightly wrong for Lewis. Means he's got a bad angle here, so quite a tough shot actually, because I'm having to raise above the cue. Excellent.
Cued that beautifully. Great shot.
Yeah, almost back in perfect position here. John just needs to get close to not being on this yellow to be perfect. See how he plays it. He didn't try and get too close. The closer to the reds he gets, the easier it is for him. He's left more angle here, so can't avoid the cue ball coming down the table. One against the ball kiss.
They're okay, just. You see John's already down at the table to play. Didn't miss that 8 ball by much. Got away with on a little bit there, the boys. In goes the 8 ball. And a puff of the cheeks from John Rowe. And some happy faces. 2 of the Roberts clan there.
Problem is he doesn't want to give up the table time. So it looks like he's going to be a little bit more aggressive.
All the best.
Yeah, I don't know how he's dealing with the top right corner here. This is obviously going to deal the one on the left-hand side.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, but now you're stuck. That's the problem. I know he's got to
squeeze the furthest left of the yellows in past the red.
No.
Well, he looks for the double loss of turn. He's a bit unlucky he didn't get it because he had a great go at it.
I know it's hard. We're being ultra critical here. I know because of the situation, 3-1, 3:40 on the clock, but I think he's still got to win the frame the right way there. The clearance wasn't on. I say if he takes yellows, plays a loss of turn second shot, you weld the cue ball behind the other yellow, you're going to get, if you don't get cue ball in hand, you're going to have a great chance to win the frame unless, you know, Sean came up with something absolutely ridiculous. So I think you probably still have to play it that way, but it's so hard to be that critical because you're 2 frames down with 3:40 to play. You're kind of thinking, I've just got to go at all costs. As it turns out, it looks likely he's going to lose the frame because he tried to be too aggressive. Although Sean has just left us shade too much angle on this one. There's the cue ball. Is it close to the right centre? Kill it in off the thick part of the pocket. Actually killed it in more than he thought he could. He was playing on the one on the right hand side. It's a long way short.
Back in prime position now though. A chance to win this outright. Super start, perfect start, really, for Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton, whose imperious record in this competition further extended. They send Team John Lewis back into the second round of fixtures, needing a win. Team Blessed and Team Davies coming up next. Yeah, here. Great to hear from Luke Gilbert and Dom Cooney. Of course from Aaron and Ryan before as well. We spoke about John Rowe's massive break. Luke Gilbert has one of his own. Quite slight in stature is Lightning Luke, but he has got one of the best breaks in the business. Again, similar to John in the last match, that one was slightly loose by his own exceptionally high standards, but he won't be complaining. It's a decent leave here. Very decent leave, in fact. Probably make a case for either colour set, but it will be yellows, because that's the one they can start with.
Yeah, what a layout for the opening frame of a match. We talked about the first match tonight and how important that opening frame was. Well, look at this. This is the chance that John and Lewis would love to have seen.
It's great to hear from Luke and Dom in the sense that they are fully leaning in to the Team Bless narrative.
It's on their back.
It's on their back. They're wink, nudge with whenever it happens. They're helping. You know, a lot of players probably wouldn't want that reputation, but they're more than happy to lean into it. Because I think, for one, I think they find it funny, which is fair enough. It is. But there's a serious side to it as well, and in the sense of they reckon it probably gives them a little bit of an advantage inside their opponents' minds.
Well, there's definitely some gamesmanship to it.
Yeah.
There really is. I mean, nobody gets more, you know, luck happens to everybody, and good luck and bad. You know, they're not getting more than other pairs, but when they do get it, they make the most of it and they highlight it, whereas others it can be passed by without referencing it, which can have a psychological play on it for sure. They work this really nicely. But that's poor. That's really poor.
That's a really surprising miss.
Yeah. I'm shocked by it, if I'm honest. I'm really shocked. I noticed that, obviously, the Davies come to the table here, and it is Aaron that's sort of been left to kind of do the decision making there and work it out. He actually, in truth, hasn't played the best of shots. He could have done with those two reds still going independently of each other when he played that shot there.
Don't think it will matter. It shouldn't matter a huge amount. They are so far ahead in this frame in terms of being the favourites.
It adds to the they should have had a chance to go after this shot here. Now, okay, so now they've got the chance to go. If those two reds went independently, you'd expect them to clear up. Now they've got to deal with opening up those two reds. And that's the sort of difference. So, yes, they're still in complete driving seat here. It's just an extra thing they have to work out here on their chance.
Yeah, and not surprising. Aaron, cut from a similar cloth to Carl Sutton, who we talked about in the first match, won't go if he doesn't have to. Will always play, you feel, the right shot. And I think I'm in agreement with him there.
Has to be, yeah. You've got to win this frame. That doesn't mean you have to counter clear in first opportunity. That deals with a problem ball that was on the cushion. The only thing you've left a one cushion here. There's, I think Dom and Luke would expect to get that. They're going to hit it every time, so they're going to hit it 10 out of 10, and they're going to cause problems 50% of the time, and maybe 1 out of 10 they might even make that. So that was a risky leave for sure. We might see them go here. There's one cannon to play, and it might not even need a cannon. If the top one of the two reds together, if there's enough showing to play it, well, there obviously can't be because Aaron's decided to play the snooker. Might have left an edge here, but not a lot you can do with that edge. Oh, he almost left the pot on.
Yeah, I thought it looked close. I think this is on.
That's almost as poor as the miss from Dom.
It was such a tough shot. I wonder if that was because Aaron was pretty deliberate with how he played that. He must have had half an idea that you might sort of leave that, but he's played it in such a way that he knew it would be ridiculously tough queuing. But even so, brave.
Now they're there, though. Now they've got to go and get them. Could have done with a touch more on that one. It would have been nice for them to be a little bit straighter here, I think, and play on the one below the 8 ball. Use that one to work your way up the table, and then come on down, leave the 8 ball alone. It's not really a problem below the 8 ball, but you would have rather got rid of it first. Interesting to me, they're not really discussing things, they're just sort of kind of flowing, trying to. The player really, it's the opening frame of the night for them. Just trying to feel their way in, I guess.
Yeah, not the greatest shot Ryan's ever played.
As long as Aaron can get to the centre of the cue ball here, it's absolutely no problems whatsoever. He's just deciding what sort of shot to play. I don't think there's any issues here at all. Cue ball. So he decided to come down for the one below the 8 ball, because, and if they could have landed on that second shot, see how it would have made life easier for them. They still should get out here.
Full 22 years of age now is Ryan Davies. I remember when we first saw him with Ultimate Pool, and he was barely a grown-up.
Yeah.
Was a prodigy back then, but a more established player now. As he knocks in the 8 ball for 1-0 to Team Davies. Super,
have some of that.
Super break from Aaron Davies.
Yeah. Just the yellows just got in the way of the reds in the top right-hand corner. Just enough just to make them think here. First 2-3 shots here, just to figure it all out.
That's almost certain they were playing the cannon there.
Yeah, it looked like it, didn't it? If they weren't, he's short, because you can't. That red now above the yellow is playing as a problem ball. Because you take this to right centre, then you don't have a good ball to break it out. I don't think there's enough of it showing.
There might be.
I don't think there is. I really don't.
Well, there needs to be.
But the yellow doesn't go itself, so do you just not chase here? Oh, they are going to chase. If you pull back there, you're massive second favourite. I was just wondering whether you could eke out a safety battle to maybe, keep yourself in the match, or keep yourself in front in the match.
What's Aaron got for us here? Oh, how good is that?
Oh, yes.
How good is that from Aaron Davies? And how he needs his younger brother to pull out. Another great shot here.
Yeah, this goes in the centre. It also goes in the corner, but I think it's a bad angle in the corner. Needs
Wobbles
a
in the centre, needs a bump. Just about cuts.
Oh, I'm not sure if it does. Aaron's having a look. Maybe it does. Not sure the double's on, so he might have to. It's gone for the double. Oh, it was on because it missed on the underside, so it missed high on the pocket, so it definitely went.
Couldn't have been much closer.
He had to play this one slowly because he had to allow it to slide. The straight double, as in if you play it a bit firmer and it comes off at a straight angle, the yellow then comes in the way because you've got to hit higher up the cushion. So he nearly played a brilliant shot. Aaron is very, very good at the doubles.
I mean, the shot he played before, well, his last shot at the table before that was something pretty special.
This isn't the gimme it used to be. He's already missed a ball easier than this in the match.
Yeah, that was clean shot. Appreciated by his teammate Luke Gilbert. Rolls in the 8 ball. And they are in business. All square again.
Change of break. Maybe chasing the 8 ball. Maybe just not happy with the way the breaks have been going. But I suppose it's the first time we've seen Dom with the break, isn't it? Rather than than Luke, but wouldn't normally see Dom go for that sort of break. Now, this is where you want some help from your partner, just in terms of Luke needs to be there, and he is there, just to help with the clock management here. Just take one element away from Dom. Make sure you're the only partnership that can win this match. There's actually an excellent shot to land on that ball.
30 seconds to go.
If he gets full ball on the yellow here, it's frame over. This is if he gets this cannon right. Misses it, miss the cannon, miss the red. 20 seconds isn't enough.
Team Davies are happy to remain in their chair, basically. They'll play one shot to not foul.
Extension call.
They're going to call the extension, and that will do it. So there we have it. The second game of the night ends in a draw. It was almost there for Team Blessed, but they couldn't quite get the steal. And this group right now is wide open. Welcome back to the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. And neither of these two pairings can pass on this opportunity. Luke Gilbert and Dom Cooney, they've just been on drawing against Ryan and Aaron Davies. For Lewis Roberts and John Rowe, they lost the opening match of the night. Happiest pairing right now by a mile is Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield, the only partnership to have a win so far this evening.
Well, there you go, that's a sight. Team Blessed getting very, very unlucky, because that was probably the best break of the night in terms of extreme power, and to end up absolutely nowhere on, well, there was no shot on anything, and not even a great opportunity to play safe. Tough for Luke there.
These four blokes all know each other very, very well indeed. They're all from the same sort of neck of the woods, the Huntingdon, Peterborough area. Cambridgeshire for the uninitiated.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But all four of them know each other really, really well. As one of them alluded to earlier on tonight, three of them are actually playing for the same team together this weekend at some of the inter-counties. It's a little bit of a different equation for each pairing, though, in this match. Oh, I can't believe that stayed up.
How similar does this feel to the opening match and the opening frame of the opening match? They have first opportunity. This time they haven't left it as easy. I mean, they're still, it's still massively second favourites all of a sudden, and well, they didn't leave a particularly good chance actually on the first time round. But Chippy and Carlos did a great job in winning that opening frame. But they've given Team Blessed an opportunity to do the same thing here.
Well, I said a moment ago that I can't believe that stayed up, but then I saw the replay, and you know what? Too quick for me to see it in real time. He did catch the cushion there on the way towards the pocket, and how good is it to see those sorts of shots actually staying up? Viva the Ras on Apollo.
Yeah, agree completely. Assuming the red below the 8 will go to the bottom corner, so actually it was a better chance to counter than I first thought. A really good opportunity here to, well, just hurt Lewis and John.
Extension call.
It might be tight because they're not playing it now, so they must feel they can get underneath it, maybe take it left centre. Because if this red went comfortably, they'd play it now, because it's just natural, get the cue ball out. Yeah, so they're going to have to be really precise here to get underneath this final red. I think that's okay. It's not perfect. First glance, I thought they could come off the bottom cushion with side to get across the right-hand side, but I think they might have too much angle the way that Luke's queuing up here. Yeah,
He's played that well.
excellent. But it still leaves a tough shot here for Dom. If the natural's going into the yellow, he should hold on the 8-ball. Well, missed the pot and didn't get the cannon as wanted, so a reprieve for John and Lewis, and that's what they didn't get in the opening frame of the opening match, and they have to take this. It's their opportunity to get going tonight. It's a little bit short from John. Straight would have been perfect. Now the cue ball's going towards right centre pocket. It's going to hit the cushion just above it, but they're not going to be on the one at the top of the table. You're sort of leaving a yellow away from the rest of your work, so it's not ideal. Anything but straight.
Terrific shot there. Do. John puts Lewis in absolutely perfect position. A couple in the first match as well. And he's going to go in off. Complete miss hit that break. Not been his night so far. The dominator, the cowboy.
Yeah, not quite his absolute best for sure. I think actually from the first match they'll probably be slightly happier because obviously they made a bad mistake in the opening frame, but you know, when you look at the way the match went out, Aaron and Ryan had chances in every single frame, barring the final frame that the clock ran out in. Not the easiest of chances here for Lewis. This is one where I think you get to work, you 2-0 up. Don't get too overly aggressive here, just kind of try and work it out. Now, if the yellow directly above the 8-ball passes the other yellow to the corner, that sort of solves that little problem. So it just leaves the yellow on the right-hand side, which is in position for a double. So there is a route out here, but it might be trickier than it looks, so it may not be the right thing to do. Play the match situation.
They just decide here, Lewis, that trying to find a route to play safe or play tactical is just as hard or maybe even harder than going for it.
Well, the way he's going about this, I'm certain that yellow must pass the other one to the bottom corner, because he's playing this as though he's going to drop this in, be on the double, which then gets him on the yellow we're talking about. But hard to tell from that camera angle, but it must be on. Will have to be careful when he plays the shot, because you want to be high on the yellow to bump into the 8-ball to open up the other yellow, but you don't want the 8-ball to go dead. There's definitely an argument to try and get there early. Obviously he's leaving it last.
It is tight. Let's have a good little peek at it. We can show you it now. It does probably just about squeeze in.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect on this. Just has to pop this on the side of the pocket and just let the cue ball drift through. Knock the red ball, the 8-ball down towards the red ball. Played it quite pacey. The pace he's played that at, it sort of took a while before the cue ball went forward. I think you have to roll that through and let the cue ball nudge into the 8-ball quite quickly there. And I know that risks not moving it far enough, but the way he played it, I think he was unlikely to land on the yellow. while since Lewis was a snooker player, but that was kind of almost a snooker player way of playing that shot.
Yeah.
That sort of reaction is not a reaction you get on the snooker table. Resist temptation to go quickly, understanding that there's still 7.5 minutes left. It's more important to absolutely win the frame, which he now has the opportunity to do. Deceleration, or is that where he wanted to be? Not sure it's entirely where he was playing. I thought he might play in Finland. I thought he might play top left, straight in top left, because then you're essentially out, because you're in line then. But the cue ball just drifted a couple of rolls forward. That's okay for recovery. This with topspin, it can trap on the top cushion. You might not get nice on the 8-ball. Oh, that's excellent. Using the left-hand side of the table to make sure. Very good.
Yeah, perfectly executed by Dom Cooney, and that was a frame they really needed. Team blessed. 4 minutes left, 2 each. 8-ball is really moving. Dom Cooney, though, has flushed that break.
Dangerously close again, wasn't it? Good chance this is looking at the yellows, which I think he is. The yellow at the top of the table is the one. He might have the angle to go up for it straight away. He has. One good pot here. Even if you clip the red, you'll be on the next ball, but ideally get the cue ball out, which he has. And now it's just about, can you find the route to give yourself a good look at this 8-ball, because you don't have the guarantee, you don't have the absolute certainty of a ball. Just to bend that one round. Could have played the plant as well. There's definitely an argument here to say leave the 8-ball for a double. Players are so good at doubling now that it should, with the way the yellows are, should land perfect on the double as well. Oh, Dom. Just pulled up.
Just
puts a little bit of pressure on this shot. Not necessarily the pot, but the pot and the cue ball together. Yeah, Dom. Previous shot was the one, and it gives John the opportunity here to steal this match away. Now John does have a better ball to get onto the 8-ball nicely.
now, if he thinks about this, 6 balls to pot, 15 seconds a shot plus an extension. Camera can just about win it here.
I'm a little bit surprised from John. That was the ball for me that I would have wanted to leave to get onto the 8-ball. So I'm thinking he might maybe thinking double himself here.
Wants to use as much of the beeps as possible on every shot here. But
I think
sort of going about it quite quickly.
Yeah, I think the fact they get the next, they get the next break, don't they? I think helps them here, and I'm with you. The ultra clock management here is to do this slower than he's doing it. doesn't have a good angle to get on the 8 ball, I don't think. Can he force this? Yeah, that's why I would have liked to leave the one bottom left last ball.
Now he calls his extension. There's not a lot of room on this. Looks pretty much gun barrel straight.
So it's going to be the double.
Big, big shot in the context of this night for John Rowe. And he has nailed it. Needs a ball, gets a ball.
Yeah, that should ice it, because there is 3, 4, 5 yellows here. That is match over.
And it's, well, we mentioned it's win or bust for Lewis and John. It's not great news to lose for Luke and Dom. They've drawn one, they're about to lose one. They must win their last match. And I'm pretty sure the only way they can go through is if every single other team achieves those same results, a win, a draw and a defeat, which would of course lead to the 4-way 6-red shootout. The concession comes in. Lewis Roberts and John Rowe have stayed alive just with a crucial win in the Pairs Cup. Celebrations in the Robertson Road corner. They look pretty pleased themselves as they head into their final match with hope here in the Pairs. Welcome back everybody, Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup action, and to the table comes Sean Chipperfield. Booming break. Booming break. He doesn't even feather the break, which I find hilarious. Just sort of whacks it. That is in slow motion, that break, I promise. But yeah, cue ball stays up, quite a few down, and a very presentable chance here.
Yeah, when do you go down for the 2 at the bottom? Yes, this is tricky. It looks like it's a really, really good chance. Okay, so yellow by the 8 ball must go. Oh, he missed the first shot. Oh, it falls in. Thought that had missed. They could have taken that into the centre and maybe played a cannon, but it wasn't going to necessarily go well. I think the yellow at below the 8 ball must go. In which case, let's try and deal with the 2 in the top half of the table and then come down. Too much angle here. Come down for it now. If they managed to get on and off, it would have been a little bit easier. Still okay. It coming away from it, so they're going to have to play a very good positional shot here. If this is dead straight, they're in trouble. I think there's enough that Sean can just use the pocket, create an angle, come down the left-hand side. Yeah, nicely done. So I can only assume they just didn't like, they were a little bit thin on it previously, and they didn't like the line it was going to come off at. Similar scenario here, the red's in play.
Well,
I think they are playing for the 8 ball right centre. I think they were expecting a slightly thicker contact.
Nonchalantly knocked in from Sean Chipperfield. Yeah, they don't make many. Oh, that's such a good break from Carl. Yeah, you just couldn't believe that was ever going dry. Struck that so well. This is perfect cue ball control as well. Absolutely flushes that.
Might have an angle to break out the red top right first shot.
Extension call.
Depends on how he wants to play it, but I like the one right centre. You can go into the right side cushion and then into it, or into it directly. There's enough angle to make your choice. He doesn't like it. That means he's going into its second shot, and this doesn't look as good an angle to me. Really got to force this. Yeah. Just got that. Oh, he's been there. And this red's on.
Oh, wow.
He's on the red to top right. Oh, he needs to go and change shirts, doesn't he, with Dom and Luke? Oh, that's outrageous.
Sean Chipperfield keeps a straight face.
I mean, it's not just the ball going in. He landed plumb. Absolutely ball in hand plumb on that red. I'm not saying it was going to be 2-1 down without that fluke, but he would have been second favourite to win this frame for certain. It's against Aaron, who's very good at working out frames from that situation. Certainly big factor in this match, you feel. Now Sean can't keep a straight face. 3 semi-finals, the only matches they've lost, or the only times they've lost, has been in the final itself.
It is an astonishing run.
Okay, 15 seconds a shot, but finally Davies get back to the table with Aaron. Didn't get a chance in his previous individual frame with that fluke from Carlos. And this is not a good layout. When you need a quick finish, this is pretty horrible. He might be going aggressive here. Yeah, he was playing the plant into the middle pocket. I know that sounds crazy, but he was playing a 3-ball plant double into the right centre pocket.
Yeah, you are right. That does sound crazy.
That's what he's playing. But you got to go. You got to go there, haven't you? You can't. There's no. I mean, obviously, he wasn't playing defensively at all. But you had to try and do something. See Sean being too aggressive here. Still a terrible layout on both. Well, he is going to be.
Yellow ball.
I suppose you make the case all the yellows go. Now he's got that first one in. 2 on the bottom of the table. Maybe they don't, but once maybe the bottom one does, that opens up the other one. It's tight, difficult to tell. Well, it opens up the pocket for those 2 yellows, but I'm not sure if he can get across for them.
Yeah, this next shot is tough.
Can he get enough side on to avoid the reds? Not sure he thought he was getting the cannon. It's one of those, the slower you hit it, the more chance you've got of not getting the cannon, but then you won't have enough pace to get across. Oh, he just doesn't stop though, does he? He's so good.
That's a naughty one. That's a dagger for the Davieses.
Well, he's taking his time here, which suggests that he's got a horrible angle.
Well, he did. He was bang straight. Couldn't manipulate that cue ball out. And all of a sudden, we may well yet see a mini comeback.
This
Marin
has,
and Ryan. 90 seconds to go. They need 2 frames.
this has to be ultra quick, doesn't it? Has to be.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's rushing here, Aaron Davies, but this is just about his final gear before 6 red pace, to be honest with you.
It's actually been fabulous clearance as well. I mean, let's not give it to him, they're in, but he has got it done. He had 2 problem balls and he solved them really early. You know, some excellent decision making quickly.
In it goes, stops the clock at 49 seconds. Aaron Davies back out there as the brothers Davies continue their quest in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. It's been a more than competent evening for Ryan and Aaron, but they needed that little bit more X factor in that last match in particular.
I think when they,
For John Rowe and Lewis Roberts, though, the game very much afoot. A win here has them with a decent chance.
yeah, well, what we did talk about, that last result knocked 2 pairs out, didn't it? I mean, certainly for the Davies, they'll look at that first 2 matches, thinking what could have been. They had enough chances to win both matches, no doubt about that. They really did. It means that they can no longer make it through, nor can Team Blessed. So it is down to 2 partnerships, and John and Lewis are one of those. They need help. The first thing they've got to do is win this match. First chance in the opening frame once again. Did not make the most of it the first 2 times they had it. So they got this time.
Yeah, ordinarily, most pairs, especially the good ones, the ones with 1, often 2 pros, will just say, just give us the chances. It's all we want.
Yeah.
And then it's up to us then. Are we good enough to take them? Are we good enough to win the matches? And if we are, great. If we're not, then we weren't good enough on the night. I don't think Lewis and John can moan about a lack of chances tonight. You just have to be good enough to take them.
I don't think anybody can, actually. I think all 4 pairs have had enough chances to win their matches. And I know that Chip and Carlos have been the best pair tonight, you know, the way it's gone so far. But, you know, all 4 pairs have had enough opportunities to win the games they've been in. Although, probably fair to say that John and Lewis's chances in the opening match were tough. A couple
They were. They were. But the only way that they can qualify now is to win this game and hope that good old Team Blessed can do them a favour in the last match. Luke was at pains to point out earlier that every match was important to Team Blessed. He's going to have the opportunity to show us just how important. That might be a rubber match for Dom and Luke, but I'm sure they'll be trying pretty hard for their county buddies.
Or was he short? I think he is.
He's either just short or absolutely perfect. This is tight.
If he has to bend this a touch, it means getting on the 8 ball is actually quite tricky. Yeah, and he is going to have to bend it. Look at that.
Game of millimetres sometimes.
Oh, it's so disappointing from their perspective, because
Massively.
they were essentially out there. They just allowed a problem to develop. In match 1, the mistake cost them the opening frame and it set the tone for the match. In match 2, they got a second opportunity, which they took. So, and they turned that into victory. They really shouldn't get a second opportunity here. This is run of the mill for the Davies brothers. the yellow passes the red. They both had a really good look at it. So maybe it's a touch tighter than I give it credit for. Yeah. In fact, they're playing for it into the opposite pocket. Tells us it is. They're just discussing what to do here, but I think the easiest way is to leave yourself just loads of angle, because anywhere in the bottom half really you've got all the room in the world to play on. Just leave yourself a ton of angle to go in and out, something like that. If he can, is he forcing Aaron's hand? Aaron can play the one at the top of the table, but can you get safe off it?
Oh, he's dangled the carrot. This can 100% take on a shot here, but it is tough.
Is the pot easier than the safety?
I think that's the conversation, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's not just the pot, it's what you're doing with the 8-ball. If you make the first pot and you land on a yellow, you'd expect to get rid of the yellows, but then are you going to get behind that 8-ball and make a shot on it? I think you have to back yourself to try and go here.
Well, 7 minutes left. Lewis Roberts has to hustle. And that is an excellent shot.
Okay, does the 8-ball go bottom right? How comfortable would the combination be? I don't think very comfortable in terms of 8-ball onto the red bottom left and follow it in. So it's a case of try and work underneath it and give yourself a shot right centre or bottom right corner if it goes. The yellow top of the triangle area isn't that bad. If you landed on it 3/4 ball, it's then controllable, and he should be able to give himself that shot.
Yeah, no, can't imagine here. No real reason that he shouldn't be able to. He's trying to earn himself the right in this frame to go and then try and win it. Doesn't want to go past the straight. I think he's pretty perfect here. So basically choose his line.
Yeah, just put it back 6 inches or so. Or go forward, you can get left centre, but I think I like it to the corner. Because if you come up short here, you've got a problem. And he has come up short here.
He certainly has.
That's why I like it to the corner. You had so much more control on it. Now he's just firing into it and hoping that it comes out well.
Oh, and he's come up smelling of roses.
Has he? Oh, I'm not sure if he has. Oh, he's gonna. If he has to play it. Oh, if he can't play it to the left, as in he can clip off it thin to the left, then he's so much danger to foul here.
Just had a little glimpse of his partner Trish there in the corner. She's hiding behind someone she can't watch. This is tight.
Oh, brilliant.
What a great shot from Lewis Roberts.
That was hard not to foul. That really was hard not to foul there.
He's done so well to get out of that one. Just not quite work for him. Does get a bit frustrated out there, John Rad. I think he's too far off from Happy Gilmoreing the thing at this stage.
Took something off it. Took the pace off.
Cue ball stays up, 8-ball stays up, everything stays up. Oh, now then.
That was close to a tap break by John's powerful standards, really. Trying to control the cue ball and actually didn't do a particularly good job. He came across it the other side this time round.
They're in trouble here, John knows. 2 minutes left. Bit of a roadmap layout this for Aaron and Ryan, and we know they're slightly on the slower side of things. They're going to take their time over this finish within reason on a 15-second shootout. It's going to be a long, long couple of minutes.
I was about to make the case that this isn't an absolute guarantee as much as it looks open, because you've got the plant on the right-hand side and the 8 ball that was a problem. Well, the 8 ball's no longer a problem. So can you get on the one at the top of the table to get on the plant? Yeah, touch short. This is not easy. Not sure you can get on the plant from here. So now has to come down and the left-hand side perhaps, and then come across for it, which is also fine if you landed straight behind it.
It's a lovely pot. It's a really well-controlled shot from Aaron.
Finding this line's not easy. You've got to kind of the gap of the yellows and almost get the cue ball tracking to the right centre pocket. I'm trying to go the other side of it. The problem with this is, how do you get on the next red? You had to kind of get above the reds there and play the plant.
Well, does Ryan just say, back me to make it?
Well, yeah, there's a case, yeah, for sure.
Goes to go top right. But Aaron was trying to nick some inches there, I think. And even a double.
Well, is there a pot on the yellows? Yes. And then there's 3 or 4 open yellows here, and 40 seconds left and an extension. So this should be it. Just make sure of this pot and get on the next one.
Oh, they've put their supporters through the ring again. John Rowe and Lewis Roberts, but they are going to ask the question. Sean Chipperfield and Carl Sutton, who will have to do it the old-fashioned way. They're going to have to go and win it, rather than have it done for them. Loss of turn played, and simply no time for Ryan and Aaron. Or is there? Or is there? Cue ball finally stops. That is absolutely mad. What a heartbreaker for John Rowe and Lewis Roberts. Ryan and Aaron Davies play spoiler. And that is a quite ridiculous finish. Drama in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. This is how it finished in the last game. A complete fluke from Ryan Davies. Look at that cue ball spinning, and it stops with 1 second left for Aaron Davies to roll in the 8 ball and end the match at 2-2. It eliminates John Rowe and Lewis Roberts, and it qualifies Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield, who must not be able to believe their luck.
It's incredible. You've got to feel for John and Lewis there. I mean, yes, I was saying all they had to do was pot a few balls, but they didn't have a particularly good angle to pot a ball and get on the next ball. So the decision to play safe, they win the match off that 99 times out of 100. And yeah, you could maybe look back and think, could they have played the yellow off the 8 ball, not the 8 ball awkward and stuff? Yeah, you could have done, but you can't be too critical of the decision there. That was just, you know, they came to the table, Ryan hit and hope, and it's come out like a dream. Unbelievable, really, and obviously from Chippy and Carlos's perspective, it was perfect for them. They're through. Again.
We've seen some mad finishes in the Pairs Cup this year, but that was really, really crazy. And the odds of Ryan and Aaron winning that frame with 10 seconds left with the shot they had on would have been long, long odds indeed. And then Tom Cousins and Shane Thompson, as Chippy misses his final red, and this is the important thing. It is completely inconsequential. They are through no matter what in this game.
Yeah, it's almost like I think there's been a little bit of energy just gone out of the Chippy kind of, you know, he was, I mean, I know he always looks casual, but it was very casual for him there. But you mentioned next week, I mean, the interesting thing for me is obviously in the World Championships, they have a doubles competition, very different to the Pairs Cup. And Carl Sutton and Shane Thompson won that, and this year at the World Championships, essentially they are the world doubles champions, and they could end up playing each other in the semi-finals of the Pairs Cup. Of course, Tom Cousins is Shane's partner this time round, and Tom's just keeps showing why he's the best player in the world.
I do wonder if we may see a repeat in this game of what I believe to be Carl and Sean's only defeat in pairs competition, and it came at the same stage of 2022's iteration. I should say 21-22, so right at the beginning of 2022. And what about the fluke that went for them when they weren't even in the arena?
Yeah,
Match number 5.
And of course, yeah.
Crazy game.
Sean's got away with that one as well. That was a poor one. Cue ball very lucky to stay on the table.
It is all but a foul break though in that sense. Hasn't gained anything from it, and Nick Gilbert gets first shot.
Not a great layout though. Yellow at the top of the table is a problem. When he's next to now. He's having a good look to see whether it goes. I was working on the assumption it didn't. Don't know, he won't play it from where he is now, but he can work his way back to it. Of course, you've still got the 8 ball and the yellow nearest the red right centre.
Oh, lefty Luke. Didn't know he had that in the locker, although far from the best shot Luke Gilbert's ever played.
To be fair, it was really, really thin. It was tough. You couldn't really play it with the rest anyway, because you wouldn't. It's so hard to then get the rest out the way in time. You've got to hit that so hard and so thin. Looks like the red's not on, but you can use the yellow here just to make this one. This, isn't it? Just made it look very simple.
Yeah, super stuff from Chippy. And they go ahead with a few remaining.
Finish it off here and now as well.
Full hand from Bull.
Beautiful break from Dom. Completely
Sunring.
came across that one.
Not been their night.
This really should be that player at Carl's level. Just absolutely wide open. There's nothing really in the way to make this. Just the one red, even on a layout like this. So Carl's taking his time. Sort of not the two nearest the left centre, but the other one. Just got to land on that nicely. Not sure if it goes to the bottom left corner. He's had a look at it 2 or 3 times now. If it doesn't, then the last 2 balls don't connect brilliantly unless you land absolutely plumb perfect. Well, he's decided it does go. So, and that is perfect.
Successive group stage wins in the Pairs Cup. 4 straight finals nights. Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield once again have run the gauntlet in the Pairs Cup. They are the pair to beat. Team Bless found that out tonight, so too did all the others. Carl Sutton and Sean Chipperfield have done it again in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. We'll hear from them in just a moment.